we're renovating this house at the minute, so I thought what a better place to do the fuel tank for the bike. So I've got some soda crystals, which is basically bicarbonate of soda. Quite a few. 1 second. Off. Okay. Suitable for use in septic tanks. So septic tank, petrol tank, same thing, right? Strong is 1 cup, which is 200 grams, to 1 pint of hot water, which is 500 ml. This is 1 kilogram. I don't know how big that is. I'd guess that looks like a 20 litre tank. I'll put it on the screen now. Excuse me. Okay, well, what I'm going to try is half a bag to a full tank. I've got 2 bags. If it doesn't touch it, I'll put a whole bag into a full tank. Right, let's see how that goes. Let's have a look inside the tank first so you guys can see how bad it is. I've shown it in a previous video, but I'm just going to remind you. It's pretty bad. Da, 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 da. Oh. Ugh. So there we go. That's what it currently looks like in there. Now, I don't think it looks that bad. It looks better on camera. I'm not going to lie. All of this, as you can see, is pretty bad. So we need to clean all that out as well. Need to take this bit off, so we can just clean it properly. Once I'm happy, I can clean up the inside and it doesn't leak. Then we can go ahead and finish making it look nice on the outside. So the fuel tap, petcock, whatever you want to call it, appears to be like intact and it doesn't appear to be leaking. However, I've bought a refurbishment kit for it, so I'll be doing that in another video. The fuel sender is also present. This wire is a bit loose on there, and I'm also going to have to take that off and make sure that that's nice and refurbished as well. The underside of the tank doesn't look great, and I've noticed there does appear to be some kind of sealant. So I'm guessing someone's sealed it up before. That, I don't know if you can tell, is a blob of see-through glue or something. So I'll have to investigate that. Hopefully it's not leaking, but we'll find out when we fill it up with water, won't we? It's empty at the minute. It's nice and dry. So we can go ahead and pop our soda crystals and warm water in. See what happens. Give it a swish out. So I found this food blender jug that I'm going to use. Oh wow. Should we stir it up? This is leaking. Oh! I'm not very well, so my brain's not working. At the end of the day, I can't make it any worse. I can't use it as it is, so at the minute it's useless. Oh, I'm just spilling this everywhere now, it's all over the floor. It's okay, it's a cleaning product. I'm going to end up using this whole bag, I reckon. It's not expensive, I can go down to Home Bargains, get some more. Other retailers are available. You might have noticed it's dark outside. It's 7 o'clock. I can't wait for the summer to come. And I can start working on the bike in the daylight at this sort of time, which would be real nice. There's something I didn't take into account. There's 2 tubey bits here. They're leaking, obviously, because they're holes going into the tank, so I need to find something to bung them with. Call me crazy, but I've just been to the shop and I've bought blue tack. Other sticky stuff available. So I'm just going to stick a massive blob in the ends of those tubes, and then hopefully that'll stop the water from coming out. You've got to bear in mind they're not under pressure, so as long as the hole is plugged, there's nothing going to be forcing the blue tack out. Give it a go. I'll use a nice generous bit. I've squished it in such a way that it's gone up the tube and it's now stuck around the tube. Z, plural. Right, carry on filling my tank up now. I'm going to leave that open because obviously there's a chemical reaction going on in there and I don't want it to go at any point. So hopefully I'll be able to see if the tank's leaking shortly. So it's been about an hour. I'm just come to swish the tank about a little bit, get those soda crystals bumping. Oh, well that's heavy. Swishy, swishy, swishy. The good news is, I don't think we have any leaks. Fantastic. Okay, so it's now 9:30 and I'm just draining out the soda crystals and water from the petcock. Before you go crying to the environmental agency, this is literally used for cleaning sinks and drains. So don't worry, I checked to make sure that I was doing everything environmentally friendly. It's even vegan friendly and not tested on animals. As you can see, it doesn't appear to have made much difference whatsoever. I'm going to top it up and leave it overnight and see where we're at in the morning. I left it overnight and I've just drained it and we don't really have much of an improvement. So, plan B. Okay, so by now you guys are screaming at the camera telling me I'm doing this wrong, and you're absolutely right. Please. Oh no. This is the wrong stuff. I shouldn't be using sodium carbonate. I should be using bicarbonate of sodium, of soda, or something like that. Basically, the difference is one of them is for washing clothes, the other one is for baking, and I need the baking one. This is the clothes washing one. So I'm going to take a little trip to Sainsbury's. Bicarbonate of soda. The main difference is hydrogen. This has sodium hydrogen carbonate. That's what it is. Whereas the soda crystals, or sodium carbonate, doesn't have hydrogen in it. It uses oxygen as a reactive. And anyway, these are really mainly for electrolysis, where you stick a battery on the tank and then put an electrode inside and it gathers the rust. I don't have a battery with me and I'm not going home to get one because, like I said, I don't want to make Kate ill. So I also picked up distilled malt vinegar. Now, I don't know if you've tried to find white vinegar anywhere, which is the recommended rust removal vinegar. I couldn't find any. There was apple cider vinegar, which apparently works very well, but it was a lot more expensive. These were 40p each, so I got 10 of them, and I'm going to, again, chuck them in the tank and then fill it up with water. Oh no. I didn't shut the valve. I brought it back in the kitchen and I'm going to fill it with the vinegar. Well, half fill it. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go and buy online 20 litres of white vinegar and then do it afterwards. So going back to the sodium bicarbonate, the idea of that is you put it in after the vinegar to neutralise the acid, else the rust is just going to come straight back. Here we go, here we go. Oh no, it's got a tiny little hole in it. I'm going to be here for hours doing this. Ah, sugar. Okay. Now there's a plastic bit in the tank. Oh, it smells so bad. Oh my gosh, right, let's not do that again. Okay, so that came out quite easy. Oh, where's my little funnel I bought? It's all in my eyes. If I water down the 5 litres, so I put 10 500ml bottles in, or 568ml, put 10 of them in, that's 5 litres, that's 5% vinegar. If I top the tank up to 22 litres, which is how big the tank is, that means it's going to be about a 1.25% acidity, which I don't think is going to be strong enough. So, I've just I've just been down to Home Bargains, and then I went to Tesco's, and then I went to another shop. Can't remember what it was. And I picked up as much distilled vinegar as I can. Now, call me crazy, I found all sorts of different types. I've got distilled white vinegar, distilled vinegar, which I think is white vinegar, judging by the colour and the opacity. I've also bought 10 of these, which is malt vinegar, which is what we actually started with, but this was distilled malt vinegar. So I'm going to make a concoction of distilled white vinegar, distilled malt vinegar, and distilled vinegar. I'm just going to fill the tank up with it. I'm going to leave it for a few hours, and I'm going to see what happens. Vinegar's vinegar, right? So this Home Bargains one, it's got a bit of a lid that doesn't come off. It's got a little hole in it, but I'm going to make a bigger hole. There we go. So my concoction is clear enough to see the progress. I've topped it up to the brim so that we can try and clear this bit out as well. I've spent probably about £18 on vinegar. Okay, it's been 24 hours and inside the tank doesn't look that much different, but it's quite hard to tell because obviously my vinegar mixture is kind of brown. However, if you look at this top bit, it's definitely doing something. The rust has gone from this section and it is disappearing from this section. So I'm going to top it up and leave it overnight again and check back in the morning. I have got a little endoscope. I don't know if, obviously you can't see that because I'm currently recording it. I'll show you a video of it in a second. Here it is. This is a Wi-Fi, so you connect to it via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, whatever. No, it's Wi-Fi. It was a present from Kate like years ago, and it's so handy for like little jobs like this where you can't physically see where you need to be able to see. So it's got a tiny little camera on the end, and also it has a light, so it can see where it's going. Woo! Right, so I'm going to pop this in the tank, and then so we can actually have like a proper look inside the tank. In all fairness, it doesn't look too bad. You can see there is okay, oh there you go, there's the float, and the sidewall actually looks pretty good. So that's the top of the petcock. Again, the side of the tank doesn't look too bad. You can, there is a small amount of corrosion on there, and obviously what we can see from just inside the lid of the tank. But I'm going to get the jet wash out and blast the jet wash in here now, just to see if we can get it a bit cleaner. A lot of the rust has gone from on top of here after jet washing. However, inside remains rather the same, and I've just made a discovery, and it is really bad news. This tank has been sealed on top of the rust. There does appear to be some kind of sealant, so no matter how much vinegar or rust removal I use, I don't think I'm going to get the rust out because it's underneath this layer of, well, tank sealer, which looks like some sort of liquid plastic would have been put in there. Oh, what a shame, because that means I'm probably not going to be able to get that off. And you can see it's lovely and silver underneath it. The tank is actually dry on the inside, and you can see there is a shiny film on that layer of rust. Yeah, there's definitely not a layer of rust. That is, well, it is but the rust wasn't cleaned out before the tank was sealed. Oh my gosh, what an absolute shame. Well, I don't really know what to do with this now. I've taken that bit of tank sealer that I peeled off and put it in this shot glass of acetone. I'm going to leave it overnight and see if it dissolves it. Okay, so I left it overnight and it hasn't touched it, unfortunately. As a last ditched attempt to save this tank, I've bought and ordered and had delivered some 20% acidic vinegar. I've ordered 20 litres. I've filled the tank up. It's going to sit there now overnight. See if it makes the blindest bit of difference. I don't think it will, because I'm pretty sure that that rust has been sealed in with the tank sealer. Do we use the tank? Do we make the tank look better on the outside? Do we buy a new tank? I don't think that's an option. I had a look, there's an identical tank, same sort of condition, with an extra dent in it and still just as rusty, on eBay for £700. From Japan, so an extra 100 and something in shipping. It was basically what I paid for the bike, so that's just not an option. There is another one on there. Again, it's hundreds of pounds, so it would be nice to have a nice new tank on there. But realistically, I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. I'll have a look in the morning, see if it's made any difference. I don't think it will have, but it is what it is. The only other option I can think of is if the person that offered to aquablast some parts for me could maybe aquablast the tank and get the tank sealer off there using aquablasting. Maybe. Granted, there's no massive clumps of rust floating around in there. The liquid coming out of the petcock is clear and it's clean. There's no bits in it. It seems a bit silly to obviously spend a lot of money refurbishing the outside of the tank with a new coat of paint when the inside of it really has not seen any worse days in its life. So I'm not really sure what to do with that at the minute, so I'm just going to leave it there for now. I don't think any amount of vinegar, or any strength of vinegar in fact, that I put inside the tank is going to get that sealant off. If anyone's got any ideas of how to remove that coating, there must be something a bit more aggressive out there that I can put in there. Never mind. We move on. So if you enjoyed this comedy sketch show of some idiot cleaning out the failing to clean out the rust from the inside of his petrol tank, then sure, hit that subscribe button, and if you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. And I will see you next time. Cheers.